Well, today on Arise 360, we're joined by two powerhouse voices shaping the future of African storytelling ahead of the premiere of the Lagos Fringe Festival. First is Toyin Taiwo, a brilliant British-Nigerian playwright, author, director, and educator whose work blends culture, identity, and faith into deeply human, relatable narratives. She's the co-founder of Story Pro with multiple literary and film accolades, and her reimagined prose adaptation of Diedre Ehule, premiering at the Lagos Fringe 2025 festival, and it's already generating major excitement. Alongside her is Diedre Ehule, a dynamic Nigerian-American producer, creative, and an actor who brings more than 2 decades of performance experience to the stage. She has produced award-winning short films, starred across the screen and theatre, and now leads the cast of Dear Diary, debuting at the Lagos Fringe Festival before its full stage production in December. Together, they represent the new wave of storytellers redefining how our narratives are created, owned, and shared with the world. Welcome to Arise 360, ladies. How are you doing?
Good.
We're good.
Thank you.
I have to first say you both look beautiful. I'm liking the hair. I'm liking the ode to Diedre. It's giving cultural.
Thank you. I came to represent.
I love that. I love that. So for both of you, what does the Lagos Fringe Festival represent for African storytellers today? We'll start with you, Diedre.
The Lagos Fringe Festival, I think, is a great opportunity to showcase art in a specific way in a specific place. You know, everyone who comes knows that they're coming to see something. They're going to see things they haven't seen before. They're going to hear from storytellers they haven't met before. In addition to the vendors who come and they have things to sell, I think it's just a great conglomerate of art in a way that you might not see if you're not in tune to the art scene.
Okay, interesting. I kind of want you to touch on that, but just add to the fact that you are the collaboration that is kind of happening between the two of you in this space. It feels very intentional. Yeah. What drew you to each other's work and creative energy? So you can start and kind of like answer that.
So we met kind of like people call it a blind date in a way.
A blind date? I want to hear more about this.
Yes, our mutual friend told me that Diedre was in Nigeria. I happened to be in Nigeria. We met in a cafe. I've never seen her before. We started bonding over the fact that we love to tell authentic stories that can relate to women and just in general people who have stories to tell, but they're not showcased as such. And we started just bonding over, because she's also a poet and I love to write. So we just bonded over the artistry of writing. Diedre, being a producer that she is, was like, hey, let's create something. Write me a script. And I thought she was joking, because usually when you meet creatives, sometimes you meet them and they say, okay, you talk, I talk, but you don't talk at all, you know. But in this case, she was very intentional. And with that script and hearing her story as well, combining with my story, we created Their Diary.
I like that. And when we just look at kind of the fact that, you know, there's like American culture there and there's like the British culture there. I wonder how you balance that cultural authenticity with the global appeal that you would want your work to have. How do you create that balance with the work that you do?
Well, I like to think anything that we, in this case, write or create is, what's the word when other people can
relatable.
Relatable, that is the word. I like to think that
collaboration
that us coming together creates a relatable story, no matter where you are. And a lot of the societal pressures are happening in any country. So it's not just in America or in UK. They're also in Nigeria, in India, in Bolivia. So I think the goal is to get something that's authentic, something that no matter what your color is, even sometimes no matter what your gender is, you can relate to.
Yeah. What about you? I'd like you to kind of like touch base on that. You know, how you are keeping your authenticity in a vastly shaped, or I would say evolving creative world.
So I think I started to look at the themes that a lot of people can relate to. So that's regarding relationships, That's regarding, and when I mean relationship, not just dating relationships, but also your relationships with people at work or your relationship with family members and their expectations of you, in the sense, your community and how you relate to your community and how they relate to you. Workplace pressures. Also, as the whole term of adulting, podcasts are always talking about it all the time. You're in your 30s, you know, do I even feel like an adult? I didn't even know we had to pay all these bills. This is crazy, you know.
Tell me about it.
Or even finding your relationship with God outside of family. Like as an adult, stepping into your own, starting your own life, like where you stand with God or Allah or whoever, you know, you worship.
Okay, so let's talk about the conversations that you hope, I mean, because you've touched on it, but let's delve a bit deeper to the conversations that you hope that Dear Diary sparks after its Lagos Fringe premiere. You know, what is that one thing that you really want people to take away from this experience? And we can start with you.
I really want people to be confident in the life that they're living. And if you want to improve it, that's fine. But it doesn't have to, you don't have to get married to improve your life. You should, if that's what you want. But you don't have to get married to improve your life. You don't have to get married to improve your life. You don't have to find someone else. You yourself can improve your life and your circumstances if it's something you want to do.
What about you?
I think for me it's, well, similar to what you said, Diedre, but also having faith as well. Like your timeline will shift. Life is unpredictable, but still have faith and it will be aligned.
Okay, let's touch on the fact that we're seeing this, you know, the creative industries are kind of reimagining or rather demanding for more representation and nuance when it comes to anything that's kind of like related to the African continent. What do you think audiences are now expecting from African-led projects? Is there, just based on the work you've done, you know, feedback you've gotten from people, those things that people are really yearning for, you know, whether it's in poetry or in film or in, you know, just as a creative, what would you say you're trying to, what problem are you trying to solve? And when I say problem, necessarily in the natural sense of it.
Yeah. I think for me, my biggest thing is to show that we are not a monolith. I think there are a lot of assumptions about Black people, but Africans specifically Nigerians. We're not just a one type of person. We don't all just come from a one type of family. Family is important in our culture, of course, but we come in all shapes and sizes. We have different interests. And so I'd like to show, you know, the richest of the rich to the poorest of the poor, to the in-between, you know. I think that would be it for me.
What about you, Toyin?
For me, I would like to show the aspect that every single person is an individual. I don't like it when we are grouped as a collective, especially growing up in the UK, growing up in the 90s. You know, as soon as you see a Black person on TV, it's either they are involved in crime or they live in a hut. Those are the two things that I usually saw growing up. And I, now being an adult and having this gift of writing and directing and working with a great creative as Diedre, we have this great opportunity to show true, authentic stories of African heritage that has nothing to do with pain and struggle and predominantly death.
So quickly, as we wrap up, I just want you to kind of touch on the times we can see it, where it's happening, and finally, in 30 seconds, you know, one practical step maybe for young writers, actors, and producers that are watching today, one practical step that they can take to building their own storytelling voice.
Okay. Diedre. You can see Dear Diary December 18th, 19th, and 20th at Alliance Francaise. Tickets are available at tix.africa. And as far as one step that they can take towards improving or enhancing their creative career, people aren't gonna like this, but I say class. And the reason I say class, whether that be a directing class, acting class, or writing class, is because you meet other like-minded people. So if you are serious about wanting to get into a craft, take a class.
I like that.
And as a teacher, I agree. Go to school. And there is online school as well. If you can't afford it, go on YouTube. There are people there to teach you to get the craft of it, and then you can get the rules, and then you can play with the rules.
Exactly.
Fantastic, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me on Arise 360.
Yes,
and I wish you the very best with Dear Diary and your projects, creative collaborations, even after that.